If your intellect were so sharp and your energy so intense that machines broke down the moment you entered a room, experiments exploded, and everything slid into chaos, what would you do? Most people would call it a coincidence. But today, we're talking about a man known as the most flawless mind in physics. A man crushed beneath the perfect world he himself created, Wolfgang Pauli. He was the man who proved why matter exists, why your hand doesn't pass straight through the table when you touch it. Yet that mathematical certainty came at a brutal cost. Today, on The Cost of Genius, we examine the tragic story of a giant nicknamed God's Whip, a journey that runs from pure logic into mysticism and ends in the mystery of the number 137. Wolfgang Pauli was a prodigy in his early 20s. In the scientific world, they called him God's Whip because he tolerated not even the smallest mistake. But his true revolution came at just 25. Pauli discovered the famous law that halted the chaos inside the atom, the Pauli Exclusion Principle. So why is this forbidden rule so important? Think of it this way. Without Pauli's law, every atom in the universe would collapse into itself. Mountains, oceans, buildings, and you would all compress into a single point. Matter itself would cease to exist. Pauli told us this. Two electrons cannot occupy the same state at the same time. This simple but ruthless prohibition is the skeleton of the universe. It's what keeps you from falling through the floor, what allows a chair to support your weight, what keeps the cosmos from collapsing. Pauli was the guardian of matter, but the man who kept matter in order couldn't stop his own life from falling apart. The price Pauli paid wasn't just loneliness. His mind was so relentlessly rational, so razor-sharp, that he had no defense against life's irrational side. In the 1930s, his life turned into a nightmare. His beloved mother committed suicide. Shortly after, the woman he married left him just weeks later for a circus acrobat. This colossal intellect, capable of solving the universe's most complex equations, couldn't produce a single formula to explain why he'd been abandoned or why his mother had died. Logic wasn't enough to numb the pain. Pauli became a man who drank in bars every night, picked fights, and tried to escape the unbearable light inside his own mind. Meanwhile, in the scientific world, the eerie phenomenon known as the Pauli effect reached its peak. Whenever Pauli came near a laboratory, the most delicate instruments would inexplicably malfunction. Experiments would fail. Equipment would break. His colleagues joked about it. But for Pauli, it felt like the uncontrollable chaos inside him was leaking into the physical world. Logic had abandoned him, replaced by something darker and more unsettling. To save his mind, Pauli did the unthinkable. He set rational science aside and knocked on the door of the famed psychologist Carl Jung. For a physicist, this was professional suicide. But Pauli had no other option. The two entered a secret collaboration that lasted for years. Pauli described dreams filled with intricate mathematical symbols and symmetries to Jung. He was no longer just a physicist. He became a mystic, searching for a bridge between the world of atoms and the world of the soul. He began to believe that numbers carried hidden meanings. The most rational man in physics was now chasing ghosts in dreams. His intellect had carried him so far from ordinary reality that even his colleagues could no longer communicate with him. His genius tore him away from the world and imprisoned him among dreams and ancient symbols. There was one obsession that followed Pauli throughout his life: the number 137. In physics, it's known as the fine structure constant, one of the universe's fundamental numbers, yet no one knows why it has that exact value. Pauli believed this number was a secret doorway into the soul of the universe. He spent his entire life trying to unravel its mystery. But the number would confront him in a way he never expected. In 1958, Pauli was rushed to the hospital with severe pain. It was pancreatic cancer. When he was taken to his room, he glanced at the number on the door. He froze. The room number was 137. Pauli smiled and said to those beside him, "I will never leave this room." He believed so deeply in cosmic symmetry and the power of numbers that he knew this wasn't a coincidence, that the universe was calling him back. A few days later, behind the door marked with the number he had devoted his life to, Pauli took his final breath in room 137. Wolfgang Pauli taught us this. Genius is a perfect tool for understanding the universe, but it's useless for easing the pain of being human. You can seal everything with mathematics, discover the laws that hold atoms in place, yet still fail to stop your own soul from breaking apart. He wanted everything to be symmetrical and logical. Life answered him instead with its coldest reply, on a hospital door, etched with the number he loved most. On this episode of The Cost of Genius, you witnessed a giant trapped inside his own prohibitions, consumed by a single number. If stories like these, tragic, unsettling, and raw, interest you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. In the next episode, we'll meet another soul lost in the icy silence of truth. Goodbye.